Hello? Oh, great, you're on. Good. Yeah, no, I can hear you. But Jerry, you're on mute. Can you hit unmute for me? Yeah, we just need to be all unmuted. Brittany, yep, I can hear you, yep. Yep, sounds great. Are you using, I almost just said Jerry again. What am I doing? You're pretending I'm on a Zoom call. I was gonna say, Cole, are you using a headphone mic? It sounds a little scratchy. Can you, maybe try the, yeah, put it different, yeah. Maybe different audio settings. I don't know what I'm doing. It's also very late at night and I live in a dorm, so let's hope that no one's listening. I just had a fun story to tell. First of all, that's gonna be annoying. What if I just turn it just a little bit? That's better, right? Oh, and also I didn't curl my hair just to record. I know it looks like that because I have very straight hair, but I just curled my hair for fun. And then I had the idea to make this video because I found this thing and this item has a story with it. And I thought the story was cool, so I was gonna tell it. But my hair is usually straight. I don't usually wear glasses, but I did today because I fell asleep with my contacts in, last night I fell asleep with my contacts in, and when I woke up they hurt so bad, and I sometimes they get like so dry that I'm afraid I won't be able to get them out. Like I'm sitting there like, and it like, I get scared. Like I'm like, oh no, it's literally stuck glued to my eyeball and it hurts. So I needed a break, so I put on glasses. I don't usually wear glasses. My hair is straight. I'm not on a Zoom call. I live in a dorm, and I'm gonna tell a funny story. Okay, funny? It's not quite funny. It's just cool. Fun. It's a little funny. It gets funny in a bit. But stick around. Just stick around. 2 minutes in, and I haven't started this story, which is the main point of the video. But, so I'm gonna show you this. Actually, let me give some context. Let me dig myself a deeper hole. So this summer, no. What? Yes. Sorry, anyways, don't worry about what my brain did. Just worry about what I'm gonna say. So this summer I was a camp counselor at a camp in a state different from my own, and I had to travel there. And the state that I went to, I'm like afraid to say the state because I feel like somebody will just connect the dots and know what camp I worked at. And it's public knowledge that I did work at this camp. I don't know why I don't want to say it. I don't know. Anyways, not the point. But the state where I worked in was close to the state where my older brother lived in. So I went to visit him before I went to work at this camp for the summer. So I went to visit him, and it was me and my boyfriend who drove up there. And one day, because my brother and his wife had work, it was just me and my boyfriend. We went into this town. We went to the town they lived in. It was like a little, they had like a little, Main Street or whatever. We went shopping. There was this antique store. It was almost said double-sided, and then I almost said double-decker, but I said neither of those, and instead, right now, I am saying two-story. Two-story antique store. And it was a two-story antique store, and we went to both stories. We decided to explore. Dumb. Duh. Anyways, not the point. Point is, there was this one, space where it was just a bunch of postcards. And if you know me, I love how I just have them right here, and this is the proof. If you know me, I like postcards. I love how they're all upside down. I love postcards. These all are San Francisco, mostly, except for that one that's Tokyo. But yeah, I love postcards. I collect them, kind of, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I've just started collecting them, so I don't have a lot, but those were from my recent trip. Anyways, so there was this whole place with a bunch of postcards, like racks and racks. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And they had them divided up by state. Like they had all the states. And so I looked up my home state, Alabama. I was like, oh, I wonder if there's any from Alabama. So I went to Alabama. I start looking through. First of all, each state has stacks and stacks. It's not like, here's the 6 from Alabama. Like stacks and stacks. And then I found this postcard. And I jumped. I'm about to reveal it, but I saw this postcard, I pulled it out, I went, just like that. I don't know if you completely saw it in my eyes, but I was like, and I looked around, I was scared. Like, for a half second, I was like, I'm being pranked, I'm being stalked. I don't know. Because it's a postcard of my hometown that is very near to my house, which is doxing me. Not my house anymore. And also I'm lying, so. But this is the postcard. That's my hometown. Like, this, there's a bridge here. I used to cross this bridge every day for various, can you see the bridge? You see that bridge? This is like this, it's a giant dam. And that's just my town. I used to go to school, like, back here somewhere. Wait, can you actually see it? No, not quite. It's through these trees. Like, right there. I used to go to school right there. Like, this is my town. And I was so surprised that it was my hometown, because my hometown is not big. Like, and it's not even, and you know how there's, like, some towns where, like, it's not big to people outside of the state, but people in the state, they'll know. Like, Leeds. If you say you're from Leeds in Alabama, people will mostly know where that is, especially if you're in the northern Alabama area. If you say, oh, I'm from Leeds, they'll go, oh, yeah, I know where that is. But if you said that to somebody from Georgia, if they usually don't visit Alabama or they've never been to Alabama, they will have no idea what that means. Leeds? Like the thing you, like Minecraft, like a horse? That was dumb. But, yeah, so, and my town is, no, but, oh, yeah. But anyways, my town is not one of those towns. Like, I'll tell people who are from Alabama, and they will still not know. And I'll have to be like, it's between these two cities. And they're like, oh, there's something there. Like, I just, like, you know, I would just see fields. And I'm like, yeah, that's my house. That's my backyard, actually. I actually work there. I don't know what that means. So yeah. So this is my town. And I was like, why? And the other ones in Alabama were literally like Birmingham, Mobile. Is there like a big, I can't even remember. This is a few months ago. So quite a few months ago. So I don't even remember what other postcards there were. But I'm sure it was just like big cities. And I was trying to think, is there any, I guess like the beach, like Orange Beach or something. I don't know. So this, my little hometown, like, no. Like, that's crazy, right? And it's just about the dam and Alabama Power and stuff. And that's where I live. I live in this building. I'm just kidding. No, what if it literally was my house? That leads me into my other part of my story. So anyways, I grabbed this postcard. I'm like, I'm taking this home. As if I don't have a million pictures of, like, this exact spot on my phone. But I was like, this is cool. Like, this is a postcard of where I grew up, where I lived. Like, that's crazy. So I obviously took it up there. And I had some other postcards too, just some random ones. And then I took it up to the place or whatever, and I was like, hi, whatever, these are my postcards or whatever. And she is looking at this one at the time, and I'm like, isn't this crazy? This is where I live. This is my hometown. And she's like, oh, where are you from? Like, not thinking that I was, because also I was in a state so far away from Alabama. Like, to the point where even if I said Birmingham, people would be like, okay, what, okay. Like, if they would, you know, like, people don't even know Birmingham in this state, which means it's far enough away from Alabama to not know that, to not know this for sure. Just turn the world upside down. So when she was like, oh, so when she took it, she was like, oh, where are you from? She was thinking somewhere in the state, probably. But I was like, Alabama. This is my hometown in Alabama. And she was like, oh, like, you know, she did like the same thing that I did, but through her brain, which was not as surprised as I was, but still like, oh, that's cool, you know, funny story. She starts telling me a story. There was this is her telling the story. This is not me telling the story. This is her telling the story to me, and this is the story of her telling the story to me. And there you go. And this is a story as well. What? I already said that. That was already covered. Hello? Thanks. So anyways, she's like, funny story about, so this is your hometown, right? Funny story. One time I was at this, I don't know if it was like a convention or whatever she said. I was at this event. I'll just say event. I was at this event, and they had these magazines there, and I was flipping through the magazines, and I flipped to one, and it was my house. And I was like, That's crazy. Isn't that crazy how that happens? Like, yeah, this is my hometown, and they had a picture of your house. And then I was like, why do they have a picture of your house? And she was like, well, it was a section about the train accident. And I was like, okay, I don't know what that means. I'm just kidding. She didn't actually stop right there. But imagine she was like, the accident. And that'll be 1087. But I just had to, like, go about my day knowing that this woman had an accident, and I'll have no idea. And it did involve a train and her house. But that is what happened. And she told me the story. She was like, so it was an article about the train accident. My house, actually, a train derailed, and it hit my house, and it destroyed my house. Isn't that funny? And you have your little postcard there of your hometown, and still intact, I assume? That bridge still standing? That dam not burst? Lucky you. I'm just kidding. I made that up. But for real, I was like, oh my God. I didn't know how to respond. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. She's like, oh, no. That was years ago. We have a new house, and nobody was injured. But yeah, that's cool, isn't it? How things can happen like that. And I was like, yeah, it is cool. Yeah. That bridge is still intact as far as I know. Right. How much do I owe you? Like, I didn't know what to say after that. It was so weird. She was so nonchalant about it, but it was still cool. Like, she saw her house, and I saw my hometown, and we related for a second. I related to this woman in a different state from my own. But yeah, I just thought that was a cool story. I also have one that I just thought of that relates to her story. So she saw her house. Also, I don't know if she meant that the house in the magazine was, like, destroyed and that was the picture, or if it was her house. I guess it would be, right? It would be weird if it was like, this was the house before, and then they, like, never show you the after, which is, like, the one you want to see. So maybe there was both. I don't know. But that would have been interesting to see. Like, your own house, and you're like, yeah, you just, like, open a magazine at, like, a convention, and you're like, oh, that's my house. Oh, that's my house when it got hit by the train. Good times. Like, what do you even do in that situation? I wouldn't have no idea how to react if I was her. Oh, my trauma, all laid out for the world to see. How lovely. You think she ever lived by a train again? I wouldn't be able to do it. If I, like, had that happen, and then I lived, like, near a railroad, and I heard, like, the horn at night, because they always blow the horn at, like, 11 p.m. for no reason, and you're like, okay, no one's okay. I live near a railroad. Doxing myself again. Somebody's like, right now, all the railroads in Alabama. Where's this dam at? Trying to, like, connect the dots. Dumb. What was I going to say? Oh, I have a story bouncing off of that. So she saw her house in a magazine. Well, when I was younger, my house was also in something similar. It was on like all the programs for all the events that happened at our school system. My house, like, just like a picture of my house. And it was because our roof was, like, the first tin roof that this guy in our town ever did. And so that was, like, his advertisement was like, look at this house with a tin roof, and now I can do yours. But, like, that was, like, my house. So, like, every time we'd go to, like, my older brother's, I don't know, choir recital, and we got a program, like, either, like, the first few times I would, like, just be looking through it, and then I'd be like, oh, but that's my house. And then I'd, like, show Dad, and he'd be like, I showed my dad, and he'd be like, that's right, it's because you did the tin roof or whatever. But then, like, after a while, I knew it would be there, so every time I got the program, I would, like, flip to my house, and then, like, if I was, like, sitting near my friends, I'd be like, that's where I live. And stuff like that, and I would, like, brag about it. I'd be like, well, my house is in the program and I thought it was a magazine, so I'd be like, my house is in magazines, my house is in the newspaper, my house is in a book. Okay, there's a picture of my house in a picture of your house right now. Doesn't make sense, but yeah. So anyways, those are a few stories about pictures and how visceral of a reaction I had to this. Like, it was crazy when I've seen it a million times, but it's so weird when you're, like, somewhere far away and there's, like, especially if you're from a small town. If I was from San Francisco, not to hate on San Franciscoians, but if I was in San Francisco and somebody, like, and I saw this in, like, a different place, I'd be like, okay. And if, I would be like, okay, I don't give a hash. Don't care. Don't care. I drive over that every day to go to my office job. I don't care. But, like I'm from a really small town that nobody can pronounce and that nobody knows where it is. Even Alabamians don't know where it is. That's how you know. So, it was jarring. And it was exciting. And I was like, oh my God. I felt like a sense of pride for my hometown for the first time in my life. I was like, that's where I go. And that's where I am. And that exists in my life. And not in many other people's. Not many other people would see this dam and know exactly what's around it. Not many other people have, well, not this water, but there's some more water over here. Not many other people have swam in this water. Not many people have driven across this bridge more than once. You know? So it was just cool. And I feel like sometimes that's the perk of a small town, is like when there's like a mention of it, you feel like famous. You're like, wait, but I know, especially if somebody else is from there. Dude, somebody else was from my hometown in the town that I'm in now, which is still in Alabama, and I felt like we were besties immediately. Like, they were like, I'm from da-da-da, and I was like, no, you aren't, because that's where I'm from, and we can't be from the same, like, yeah, exactly, just that, and I was like, what, but are you, but it is, and it's like, I'm not that far, but I was still like, what? How do you know that place? That place is only in my brain and the other people who live there's brain. It doesn't exist to anybody else. If you try to travel there, it'll just be blank. There's nothing there. Somebody cut it out from the world and only allowed it to be in the certain people's brains. It doesn't exist to you. What are you talking about? And of course, they knew my mother and my second cousin. So that's just that. Anyways, I didn't curl my hair for this video. I lived in a small town. I live near a railroad. There you go. And that's it.